Kim in the kitchen. It is our Wednesday episode, so as you know, that is our savory day. And so for this savory day, we are going to be making a weeknight easy chicken pot pie. So that means it's not going to take that long. It's going to be super easy and the whole family is going to enjoy it. So first things first, I have 3 small chicken breasts boiling over on my stove. And then for the next ingredients you're going to need, let me turn y'all guys where you can see. I've chopped 1 small onion, 6 tablespoons of butter, black pepper, salt, heavy whipping cream, of course my biscuits. Where would I go without those? This is a blend of carrots, corn, and green beans. And then I also have some hash brown style potatoes, chicken broth, and self-rising flour. So we're going to go ahead and start getting everything ready for the chicken pot pie. The chicken is on for a boil, and when it gets done, we'll shred it up and get it into the pie with all of the veggies. But we got to get the first part of the pie started first, which is the gooey inside. So let's transfer over to my stove and get this chicken pot pie rolling. Alrighty, so first things first, we're going to turn our heat up on our large skillet. I'm going to put my 6 tablespoons of butter in that skillet, and then I'm also going to put half a cup of self-rising flour and get that going. So I'm going to turn you guys where y'all can see what I'm doing. This is 6 tablespoons of butter. You get that over medium-high heat. Okay, to that 6 tablespoons of butter, we're going to add a half a cup of flour. So we'll get that. All right, so to the butter, we got half a cup of self-rising flour. And we're just going to stir that around in that butter. This is a super easy recipe. And usually you can do it all in one pan. I just am doing my chicken in a separate pan today, so to cut down on the time. So I have it boiling right here, and it should be ready in just a few minutes. So to this, we're going to add that small chopped onion, and then I'm going to add 3 cups of chicken broth. So I'm going to go ahead and get my small onion in here in the same pan. And then 3 cups of chicken broth. There's 1, 2, and 3. All right. Alrighty, so that's all cooking. Now we're gonna let that zhuzh up a bit. And while that's doing that, I'm gonna add a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper while this is cooking down. So a half of salt and a half of pepper. Okay. We'll mix all that up. And this is gonna make the good gooey goodness that goes in the middle. So right now we're gonna let this cook for just a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes. We're just wanting to make sure that those onions soften up a good bit before our next step. So I'm just gonna watch this, make sure these onions get softened up a good bit before I pour the next step in, and we're still watching this chicken to make sure it is ready to get pulled for this pot pie. Keep this stirred while it's doing this, just so you don't scorch the bottom of your pan and scorch all this goodness that you've worked for, because this is the best stuff right here that is in the chicken pot pie. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, my mom used to buy those little bitty chicken pot pies that were already frozen, and I hated to see those things coming. I mean, with like a passion. She would bring that to the table and I would be like, oh my gosh, I hate those. For some reason, I just never ever could get past the taste of those. I never liked them. But a homemade chicken pot pie is totally different to me. It tastes better. It tastes a whole lot better. But it's just, I don't know. The chicken's better. The gooey stuff's better. All the vegetables are really good. And I put biscuits on top of mine, so that just makes it even better. So anyway, it's up to you. You can sure buy those little ones if you like them. But this is the way to go. I'm telling you. Alright, so you see how that goodness is bubbling up? Let me turn my light on where y'all can see a little better. See all that goodness? That's what we want. We want all that to get good and bubbly. And at this point, now that it's good and bubbly, I'm going to add that cup of heavy cream. So we'll go ahead and add that in. And this is what's going to make it taste amazing. This gives it a whole different flavor right here. So it's a whole cup of that heavy cream. Okay? Now you're going to mix that around. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit because my stove gets super hot and I don't want this to scorch. Okay. So at this point, we're just going to let it kind of sit here and mold and mend together. Make all those good flavors of that onion and all of that stuff get good and yummy. I'm going to check on my chicken over here to see how close we are on it for it to be done. Oh yeah, it is almost done. I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes and then we're going to call that done. And I'm going to keep a stir on this. I've turned it down to like medium low at like a 3 on my stove. And once the chicken is done, I'm going to put everything in this one pan, and this one pan is going in the oven. And it'll have your whole meal in there. It's going to have your meat, your vegetables, your bread, and all your goodness in here in this one pan. Okay. So to this, we're just going to let it sit and mend for a little bit. I'm going to let that chicken finish up, and when I come back, I'm going to get back with y'all shredding that chicken and getting it ready to go in this pot pie. Alrighty, so our chicken is finished, and I've taken it and I've put it in my mixer to shred it. So it's still hot because I'm not going to be able to pull it apart with my hands. So I've put it in my mixer, and I'm going to put my mixer on, and I'll show you guys how this shreds your chicken so simply, and you do not have to worry about it or get your fingers all hot when you're doing this and get burned. So we'll just raise up the KitchenAid. Okay, I'm going to put you guys where y'all can see it. And I have 3 chicken breasts in there, and they are super hot. I'm going to try to get it where y'all can see what's going on down in there. Alright, now I'm going to turn this on and shred these chicken breasts. I know y'all were a little skeptical, but that is our shredded chicken breast, and that's the way I do it, so I don't burn the fire out of myself. So now we're going to transfer back over to the stove and get our pot pie together. Alright, so we got our chicken all shredded up. That was such an easy way to do it, and it keeps you from getting burned. It gets it in little bitty pieces so it's all throughout the pot pie. And that's just the way I like it. So at this point, we're going to pour the chicken into the pot pie mixture. We'll get you guys where y'all can see. All right, so chicken's going in. That's 3 full chicken breasts. Stir that around. And that way that chicken is going all the way throughout that pot pie, okay? Because we got it all chopped up, small little bites. All right. Now at this point, I'm gonna add a little more chicken broth, just because see how thick this is? We want it a little less thick than that. So I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup more. And then we'll stir it again. I've got this on low. Those onions are soft and they're all throughout. Now we got the chicken in there. Now the next step is to put our vegetables. So the vegetables, like I said, I'm going to do a cup or a little over a cup of the country blend, which is corn, carrots, and green beans. So I'm just going to dip those out of there. I'm going to do just a little over a cup. Okay, that's a little over a cup of that. And then I'm going to do the same with these hash brown potatoes. And this just keeps you from having to chop up vegetables. That's all this does. About a cup, and I'm going to put just a little more in a cup. And these are going to cook all good and yummy while this is in the oven. Okay, so that's all of our vegetables in there. We're just going to stir that around. So you've got chicken, onions, all that cream and goodness. Now all of your vegetables are in there. We're getting those mixed in well. All right, so all the vegetables are in there, all the meat, the onions, all the good stuff's in there. And now what we're going to do is open up a can of these biscuits. These are the butter tasting flaky biscuits. So I'm going to open them up. And you're going to just take them, kind of split them apart, like we did for one of those other recipes. I'm going to turn my stove off while I do this. Split them apart, and you're going to lay these bad boys on top of this pot pie. So we're just splitting them in half and laying them in there on top. Okay, so that's all of our biscuits. All right, she is ready, y'all. So that is what she's going to look like before she goes in the oven. I'm going to put this pot pie in the oven for 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. We'll come back and check on it. You're going to make sure that all that goodness is good and cooked through, and you're going to make sure your biscuits are cooked completely, and they should rise up above this pan. So 20 to 25 minutes at 350, and we're going to get her put in. All right, I'm going to set my kitchen timer for 25 minutes. Got it on start. All right, so we've got the pot pie all put together and it's in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my mess. I've got my timer set for 25 minutes and I'll come back and check halfway through and give you guys an update. And when we come back in just a little bit, we're gonna give this guy a tasty. All right, guys, just a little update. We're about halfway through. See all that yumminess? I can't wait. All right, you guys, that kitchen timer just went off. So let's check her out. She looks amazing. Oh, hot and bubbly. All those biscuits are good and done. Oh my goodness, it looks so yummy. All right. I just about cannot wait to get a tasty of this, but we're gonna let it cool for just a second before I do. All right, you guys, we've let it cool for just a minute. We're gonna give her a tasty. I'm gonna get you guys where y'all can see me get her out of there. I don't even know where to start. She looks so good. Those potatoes, that chicken, all the veggies, all that good cream in there. Gonna be yummy. You guys, it's hot. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna get a bite. Try to get a bite of everything. Chicken, potatoes, veggies, and the bread. Perfect. Oh my gosh, it is so yummy, y'all. So good. This is such an easy meal. Like I said, throw it together at night, right after work, super easy. The only thing that took the longest time was boiling the chicken. That was the longest part of it, and putting it in the oven, and you can do that while you're doing the other stuff. Thanks you guys for joining me on this episode of our Savory Wednesday edition of our easy chicken pot pie. Y'all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and share this recipe with your friends. Share the video with your friends. Comment below if you would like some other recipes with pot pie or anything else that you guys would like to see me cook. Thanks so much for continuing to watch me every week and leaving me comments of things to try. This one was one that a teacher at my school kind of wanted to try, so I'm going to send this to her so she can make this now. She's been sick, so I'm hoping this will help her feel a little bit better, this recipe. This is like warm to your soul, y'all. It's really good. Thanks again. I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday for a sweet edition. Y'all take care. Bye. It's so hot. It like burned my entire mouth. I couldn't do it. I gotta start over.
Oh goodness.
I couldn't like get it swallowed. I was like, I couldn't get it to go.
Your face started getting red. I was like, she can't swallow.
Okay, we'll try again.